If you've spent more than 5 minutes trying to learn how to be a freelancer or service provider, you've heard the gospel. It's preached from every course, every coaching call, every YouTube video. Niche down. Become the go-to photographer for dog bakeries. Be the only person on earth who designs websites for e-commerce shops that exclusively sell left-handed spatulas. The logic is simple. Specialize, become the best, and clients will flock to you. And you know what? There's a grain of truth to it. Niching can help you systemize your services. But what they don't tell you is that for most of us, niching down is actually a golden cage. It's a trap that locks you into an exhausting, soul-crushing cycle of client acquisition, and worse, it can make you completely blind to the biggest opportunities that are sitting right in front of your face. Today, I'm going to tell you why choosing a niche is outdated and actually dangerous advice for most creative freelancers. And I'm going to show you the one thing that I did instead that built me a 6-figure business based almost entirely on referrals without ever having to do a single day of exhausting cold outreach. So let's start by dismantling this dogma. The gurus tell you to niche down so you can become a so-called specialist. But this creates a huge problem. What I call the client acquisition treadmill. You spend all your time and energy doing exhausting outreach, hunting for that one specific type of client that fits your tiny niche. You're constantly searching and constantly pitching, slowly but surely depleting the pool of potential customers until you're left wondering where everyone went. It's a race to the bottom. And here's the funny part. The client actually doesn't care about your niche as much as you think. In all my years as a freelancer working with exclusive brands like Ferrari and very big companies in Germany, I have never ever, not once, had a client say to me, "Max, we hired you because you only work with business like ours." Never did that happen. They hire you because they have a problem. They see your work is good and you were there at the right time and place. They hire you to solve their problem, not to fit into your neatly defined box. This obsession with niching forces you into what's called exploitation mode. You're just milking the same single skill over and over again. But real growth, the kind that makes you truly valuable and irreplaceable, happens in exploration mode. It happens when you're learning, adapting, and expanding. This brings me to the alternative, the thing you should do instead. Don't become a specialist, become a skill stacker. Let me tell you my story. My path was different. I started out as a videographer. My first big client hired me to produce a brand video. Great. I did the work and they were happy. But then they asked a simple question. "Hey, this video is great, but can you also take some photos for our social media?" The niche version of me would have said, "Sorry, that's not my niche. I can recommend you someone else. I only do video." But instead I said, of course, yes. And I spent that entire weekend watching every YouTube tutorial I could find on product photography. I dove in, I learned, I delivered. My next client hired me then as a photographer, and then they asked, "These photos are perfect for our website, but can you help us run some ads with them?" Now, I knew nothing about running ads at that point, but I said yes, and I spent the next month buried in courses about Facebook and Google Ads. I think you see the pattern here. Video led to photo, photo led to digital advertising, and advertising led to learning about copywriting and email marketing. With every project, I didn't just fulfill the service, I listened for the next problem the client had. And with every yes to that new problem, I added another skill to my stack. The famous innovator Steve Jobs once said that creativity is just connecting things. Creative people had more experiences or have thought more about their experiences than other people. I believe the same is true for skills. Skill stacking is like collecting dots. Every new skill you learn doesn't just add to your toolkit, it multiplies the value of all your other skills. You're not just a videographer anymore. You become a one-person creative agency. You become a strategic partner. There's a fantastic book called Range by David Epstein, and his entire argument is that in complex, unpredictable fields, which freelancing absolutely is, it's the generalists with a wide range of skills who ultimately outperform the specialists. They are more adaptable, more creative, and can see solutions that the hyper-specialized person completely misses. And while other freelancers were busy doing outreach, I was busy with fulfillment, learning new skills that opened more doors and brought me referrals for services I didn't even offer 6 months prior. I built a business that came to me because I became more valuable with every project. Okay, so how do you do this? How do you become a skill stacker? Here's a 3-step plan you can start today. First, master your core skill. You have to start somewhere. For me, it was video production. For you, it might be graphic design or writing, or maybe AI. Become undeniably, irrefutably good at that one thing. This is your foundation. Everything else is built on this. Second, listen for the adjacent problem. On your very next client project, your only job besides doing excellent work, of course, is to listen. Pay attention. What is the next problem they have after you solve the first one? The video is done. All right, now they need to promote it. The website is designed. Now they need to copy for it. They need email marketing. Or maybe the logo is finished, but now they need maybe some social media templates. That next problem is a blinking neon sign pointing directly at the next skill for you to learn. Third, dedicate 5 hours a week to skill stacking. I mean, this step is non-negotiable. 5 hours every single week dedicating to learning that adjacent skill. Use whatever you need to do. In 6 months, you won't just be a, for example, web designer, you'll be a digital brand strategist. You won't just be a photographer, you'll be a visual content and marketing expert. Your value and your prices will double, I promise you. So please stop trying to shrink yourself to fit into a tiny predefined box. The goal isn't to be the best restaurant photographer. The goal is to become an invaluable, multi-talented creative partner that your clients can't afford to lose. The goal is to build a stack of skills so valuable that you never have to send a cold email again. Now, I want to hear from you. What is the one adjacent skill you've been putting off learning? The one you know you could transform your business? Drop it in the comments below. Let's hold each other accountable. Thanks for watching, and now go learn something.